I think a great strategy for this is to have a check-in partner that you can talk to about not only your life, but your creativity as well. And I think that when you see the variability reflected back in a way that it's like, oh, other people also have like highs and lows, it makes you feel less alone and it makes you feel like almost that you have a companion. So I have a good friend and we literally leave each other voice notes all the time just on WhatsApp. And it's so nice because we like live in different cities. And, as you get older, you'll see that, like, oh, my best friends, like, they don't even live in the same city as me because, like, life happens, right? But I find like leaving each other voice notes is a great way to stay in touch and just to do a check in. Like, oh, like my period is coming. I'm feeling so low energy. Like I'm so stressed out. Or even just like the highs and just being like, yeah, things are actually going really great right now. And so I think like the first step is to kind of move out of isolation so that you're not just in this alone. So having somebody outside of your romantic partner, spouse, that kind of thing. Just honestly, like a friend who knows you, who has no agenda, just kind of trade stories and like do check ins with each other. I find that to be like the thing that has honestly saved me sometimes. I think that we beat ourselves up because deep down we're afraid to lose it. We're afraid to lose the thread, right? We're so afraid that, gosh, what if the low moment turns into a no moment? And then I'm just completely not even doing this project at all. And I've lost it. And then it one day turns into 3 days, turns into a week, turns into a month. And then suddenly, you know, then what, right? Because often in the creative process it can feel like you're sort of chasing, right? You're hoping that the creative ideas stick, and then you're hoping that you can take that idea and actually turn it into something. And you have to do all the reps and you have to show up and you have to be in this practice. But sometimes there's this fear, like, shit, like what if I can't keep up? What if I'm just not meant cut out for this? Or and so we're really scared of stopping and we're really scared of not being productive because there is that kind of existential fear around, what if this whole thing is just fake? And like, what if I can't even do it or cut it anymore ever? Right. And so I think a lot of it is learning that pausing, slowing down, sitting into those low moments is actually healthy. And this idea that somehow we are going to have it together all the time and be so productive all the time is, honestly, it's just capitalism seeping in. And it's a lot of those ideas around constant production, constant productivity that seeps into our creative consciousness. And the thing is true, like um it it's not even helpful. Like when we are down on ourselves and then when we get mad at ourselves for like not being productive enough, like it doesn't actually make us more productive. It just makes us feel more guilty and shitty, right? So I think really sitting into those moments and letting it be. I've used this analogy before where there's kind of like, the sun and the moon, right? The yin and the yang, like where it's not summer 365 days a year. Like there are times of wintering. There are times of really recessing inside of yourself and getting closer with your own quietness. That exists for a reason. The trees shed their leaves, like, right? So you have to ask yourself, is it a sun moment where I'm shining and I'm creating and I'm executing on the vision, right? Where I'm providing light and growth? Or is it a moon moment where I am reflecting and taking it in? And that reflection is such an important part of the entire process as a whole. You can't just produce. You need to always, like, even in my writing, like there'll be phases where I'm in writing mode and I'm like, let me just get the ideas out, let me just flush them out. But then there's always a moment where you pause, right? And you have to go back and you have to edit and you have to think, does the structure of these paragraphs make sense? Like, does is this the correct and proper way that I want to do this. And so there's these moments of extreme output and sort of flushing out and running, right? And then there's these moments of just sort of like collection and reflection that are just such a part of it. And I really do think that if you went hard all the time, like honestly, you'd burn out. And so these low moments are also a moment for you to kind of gather yourself. And look, I don't know if this helps, but even in my own business, right? Like, which I feel is a separate thing, is a separate entity from me, even in my own business, I feel like there are times when I'm bored, I don't want to do it. Having emotional variability, having this feeling of weight or dread is just such a normal part of the process. And I think we experience this even in the times of day. I'm a different person at 9 a.m. than 9 p.m. And 9 p.m., I'm a zombie. I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm ready for bed. Right. And so I think the variability is such a part of it. And I think that you can have commitment to your projects, but it can be a kind of steadfast, patient, almost quiet commitment. It does not need to be a flashy, over the top, all hands on deck commitment all the time. Just because you're taking a break or just because you're not feeling that into it. See, here's the like distinction that I want to make is like you can you can feel low and still be committed. You can feel low and still show up. Right? And I think that's maybe the nuance here is that, oh, but when I'm low and I show up, I'm not writing as well. I'm not painting as well. I'm not dancing as well. It's kind of like this C plus version of me. And I just hate that. I hate feeling like I'm doing things half-assed. Right? And it's like, well, you're not, like, it's okay. Like it's totally okay to do it halfway. And I think that's really what I want to say here is like, allow yourself the permission to show up low and to do low effort and to do low performance and to do low productivity, because that is still showing up. Do you know what I mean?